Previously on the advent of cyber. Alf McBlue found email activity while analysing the log files. It looks like everything started with an email. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to open Sublime. I'm going to drag that into there and chief.alf@santaclaus.thm will look for the return path. It's murphy.evident@thebanditYeti.thm. We can see that the spam score is a 3. Echo. And then I'm going to pop the base64 value into quotes, and I'm going to pipe to base64-d, pop that in there and click search. We can see that the email reputation is Riskies. We're going to go to virus total, we're going to go to search, then we're going to look under behavior. Hello world and welcome to Hacks. In this video we're going to be looking at day 7 of the advent of cyber. CyberChef, Maldocs, roasting on an open fire. Now just to let you know, I am in a horrible hotel somewhere near London. I've brought my laptop with me and a microphone, but the mic quality probably won't be as good as you're used to. This should only be for the next 3 days, and then hopefully we'll be back to normal. Anyway, without further ado, the story. We learned McSkiddy was indeed a victim of a spear phishing campaign that also contained a suspicious looking document called Division of Labour Load Share Plan ... McSkiddy accidentally opened the document, and it is still unknown what this document did in the background. McSkiddy has called on the in-house expert Forensic McBlue to examine the malicious document and find the domains it redirects to. Malicious documents may contain suspicious commands to get executed when opened, and embedded malware as a dropper malware install component, or may have some C2 domains to connect to. So the learning objectives of this room are to understand what is CyberChef, what are the capabilities of CyberChef, how to leverage CyberChef to analyze a malicious document, how to deobfuscate, filter and parse the data. What is CyberChef? CyberChef is a web-based application used to slice, dice, encode, decode, parse and analyze data or files. Did you also know that it was made by GCHQ, the government communication headquarters in the UK? They built this tool and then released it for free use, available on GitHub and on their own website. And then the author of the room has included a image of CyberChef showing the various panels and what they're used for. The first panel is the input panel where you paste in the text or the file. The second panel over here is where you get your recipes from. Recipes are like the decoding functions that are built into CyberChef. They are the things that manipulate the data that you put into it. You drag the various recipes onto step 3. You click the bake button and then you should see the output. The author of the room then goes through the various steps we're going to be taking on the Division of Labour document that we found from the last challenge. Not going to talk you through all this because we're going to walk you through all this in a moment. Yeah, I'm just going to scroll down and you can see we go straight into challenges. So in the words of some chef somewhere in the world, let's get cooking. The first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to deploy the box using the green deploy start machine button there. Then head up to show split view. That will bring up a view of the box. Then if you want to, you can hit the full screen to bring it up in a new tab and then minimize the other one. That way you still have a full working space and a full working environment. So next what you want to do is you want to grab Firefox, wait for it to open, and then you should have a bookmark on your bookmarks bar there for CyberChef. Just click on that. And the first question simply asks, what is the version of CyberChef found in the attached VM? So if we jump to the VM, we can see that the version is 9.49.0. So we're just going to go 9.49.0 and click submit. The next question asks, how many recipes were used to extract the URLs from the malicious doc? Well, we haven't got that far yet, so we're going to scroll back up to where we need to start, and then we're going to work our way through it. So as you can see from the step-by-step instructions, the first thing we need to do is grab the file and drag it into the input box. Then we need to drag the strings recipe from the operations, throw it in there, and I believe we need to change it so it shows only all printable characters. Now if we look at the results, you have to scroll down a bit. So you have some generic strings, but then we've got this interesting looking code. Now granted, this may not be a realistic scenario, but you can see some of the characters, they've been separated by these open square brackets and underscores, which allows the sort of text to be separated, and then perhaps the malware, whatever it is that's doing it, removes removes all these so then it can execute it, but this just means like it won't be picked up by sort of antivirus and things like that easily. I assume that's what it's doing. It's a form of obfuscation. What we can do is we can go back to our operations and look for a find and replace operator, and then we can use some regex to make it easier to find the characters and remove them so we can see what's actually going on. So as per the instructions on the instructions in number 3, we've used regex to remove the characters, and now you can see quite clearly PowerShell is spawning a hidden window, encoding some data. It's like mentioned to some sort of payload down here, new macro serve execute dim payload as some reference to Microsoft Office. But as you can see here, it's quite evident from the ending of the string there are 2 equal signs, which indicates to me that this is base64 encoded. So whatever PowerShell command is being executed in the hidden window is also being base64 encoded, and we can decode that using CyberChef. So it seems the tutorial wants us to do a drop byte on it, and I think this is going to come into play later on because we need to include the amount of recipes that we used in order to get the URLs. So it's important that we include this step. I think you could probably just cut the base64 out manually and paste it in, but hey, so we're going to use drop bytes. And I believe they said it was 124, so I'm going to do exactly the same. Okay, hold the phone, I missed a step. Go back and change the strings to make sure that you have 258 set to the minimum, and then you can come down and do the length of 124 bytes, and that should nicely cut all the bytes away from the top of the base64 so that you're just left with the base64. Looks delicious. So the next obvious thing to do is decode the base64, so we're just going to go base 64, and you should see from base 64, and it also includes the alphabet, and we are starting to see some type of code. So you've got set variable there's periods or full stops in between them, you've got type. You can start to see the resemblance of code. The author of the room goes on to explain that base64 decoded results clearly indicates a PowerShell script, which seems like an interesting finding. In general, the PowerShell scripts use Unicode UTF-16LE encoding by default, so we can use a decode recipe to decode the UTF-16E. Let's have a go at that. So we're just going to come in here, search for decode. We're going to add that to the recipe, bing bang bong. And we're going to change it to UTF-16LE. Oh, that looks starting to look a lot like Christmas, isn't it? It's starting to look very nice. So, good old forensic McBlue observes various repeated characters such as single quotation marks, open and close brackets, plus within the output, and makes the results a bit messy. So we're now going to use a regex to find and replace or remove these characters, and they've actually been darlings and given us the actual regex to save us to do it. So we're going to do another find and replace, pop in the regex, remove those characters, and it should allow us to read the code more clearly. So I'm just going to come up here again and do find and replace. Double click that in because the recipe's getting long. Is there a way I can make these smaller? But yeah, I'm going to go to my clipboard, paste that in. Okay, it doesn't want to paste. Copy that again, paste that in. I'm not going to pretend I'm amazing at regex. Every time I do regex, I have to look up how to do regex, and I don't care. Oh, but look at that. That is a very tidy bit script. So next it says, if we examine the output, we will find various domains and some weird letters, blah, blah, blah. Before each domain reference, a replace function is also found below that seems to replace that with HTTP. Okay, so they're essentially putting that in instead of HTTP and then swapping them out. So if a sort of automated scanner was looking for HTTP, and then, you know, they could strip it out, replace it with that. Pretty clever. Okay, so we're going to use find and replace again, and we're going to replace these characters with HTTP as shown below. So let's go back to... No! I just extended the time as well. Ah, cool. Okay. Whew, I thought we were done for that. So we're going to do find and replace again. Then we're going to grab this string because that's the one they're saying to, honestly. Ooh, why are you pasting all that in? Okay. And then we're going to find that. And I believe it was just HTTP. Oh, that's looking good. Why has it got an @ symbol before it though? At HTTPS. Okay, let's see what else they say. Find and replace HTTP as shown below. Yep, done that. Did I have a... Yep, all done. The results clearly show some domains, which is what we expected to find. We will use the extract URLs function to extract the URLs from the results as shown below. And then we I guess, add extract URLs. This tool really does do everything for you, doesn't it? Extract URLs. Sweet. Okay, so we now have what looks to be 1, 2, 3 URLs. Yep, there's Google. They've blocked out the answers there, fair enough. The results show that each domain is followed by an @ character which can be removed using the split function as shown below. Okay, so you see how it's all sort of coming together. Does it have the split function in there, or is that a separate formula? Yeah, so they've added that in. So we are going to search here for split, and the delimiter I assume is the @ symbol. Hey, there we go. Did they put anything else on there? And they just had the new line, the line break. And yeah, they copied them all out. So, defang the URLs. Okay, what does defang the URLs mean? Great, we finally extracted the URLs from the malicious document. It looks like the document was indeed malicious and was downloading malicious programs from suspicious domains. Before passing these domains to the SOC team for deep malware analysis, it is recommended to defang them to avoid accidental clicks. Defanging URLs makes them unclickable. We will use defang URL to do the task as shown below. So we're going to do defang URL, and yep, it's going to keep all of them on there. Cool. Oh, I see what it's doing. So all this is doing is it's removing HTTP from HTTPS. It's putting the : / I don't like it. Let's remove it. There you go. So we got all our links back. So on to the questions. How many recipes were used to extract the URLs from the malicious doc? I assume this means all of them. I tried 7 for some reason. I thought that was where we were able to extract the URLs. Maybe I'm wrong. But if we go all the way up to the top, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 with defang URL. So I'm just going to throw 10 in there and click submit. We found a URL that was downloading a suspicious file. What's the name of that malware? So go back to here, 3gif.exe. Let's drag that onto our clipboard, copy that, paste that in there. Bing, bang, boom. What is the defanged URL of the Bandit Yeti domain found in the last step? So let's have a look at the HTTPS CDN Bandit Yeti. So it's going to be this one, isn't it? No, it looks like it's this one, files index. So can we re-enable that defanged URL? Okay, never mind. The Bandit Yeti, we're going to paste it in there, and then we're going to come over here and we're going to paste it in here, and we're going to click submit, and it's going to say yes, we are correct, because we're super smart. I'm not really, I'm just guessing. What is the ticket found in one of the domains? Golden flag. So the golden flag is going to be THM mystery flag, I presume, or I assume. So we're just going to try that there, and that's it, we are done. Yes. So I didn't like this room as much as I should have done. I love CyberChef. I love the fact that it was built by GCHQ. I think it's crazy. A bit like Ghidra from, I think it was the CIA who built it. It's just crazy to see that these intelligence agencies are giving their tools away for free to us cyber folk. It's brilliant. Thank you, for the resources or whatever. I've never used it to the extent that we've used it today. I've never had to go through and add each individual thing. I'm sure the reason for this was to show you just like the amount of capabilities it has, but it does show how versatile the program is and how unknowledgeable I am, because this is probably something people were doing every day in GCHQ and I'm just being really ignorant of it. Either way, I find it a bit frustrating in places, mainly because of, God damn it, things like that. Just general TryHackMe lagginess and things, but everybody's doing Advent of Cyber at the moment, it's to be expected. But anyway, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry about the mic quality. I am on site this week and the hotel's rubbish and everything's rubbish, but things will get better because it's Christmas soon. I hope you liked it. Give me a thumbs up if you did, subscribe if you do, and I'll see you next time. Kind regards. Bye.